Hey there. I thought I would make a video showing the plants that I got at the October show for my Orchid Society, just to give an update on how they're doing. Let's see. We'll start out with my Dendrobium senile. I mounted it on cork, and it has subsequently started to drop its leaves. I have a funny feeling it's going into dormancy for its winter rest, but I didn't really want to put it into a winter rest. So I'm just going to continue watering it with just plain water, no fertilizer or anything. But I think there's roots in there because when I first got it, those back canes looked kind of shriveled, and they're nice and fat now and really plump. So I'm hoping I haven't killed it. We'll see. I don't know. But we'll be watering it once I'm finished this video. Next one is my Paphiopedilum Valentinii. I'll show you the tag. There's the tag. It's doing really well. Let's see. There's its current bloom. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Current bloom. Doing really nice. Smells amazing. And it looks as though it's growing a new leaf in there. It's still really small, but it's in there. And it's got a new root tip there coming out, which is amazing and awesome. Its second spike has just recently dropped its bloom, but it looks like it's producing a new bud, so I'm happy with that. And down in there, you can't see it because the bark's covering it, but there's a nice big fat 1-inch long new root too. So it's doing well, and I'm really happy for it, and I'm really glad because I love the leaves on this thing. Like the nice shiny glossy leaves and everything. It just looks awesome. Okay, let's see who's next. Encyclia Marii. This was the one I was wanting the most. I pre-ordered it. And as you can see, it's growing well. The new growth is leafing out, and it's got a nice big root coming out of it. And then over here, this was a second growth starting, but I think it got damaged in transport because it aborted it. But instead, the little nub started to grow a root too. So there's a nice big root going down into the media there for it, which I am happy about because I want it to grow nice and strong. Next one is my Francis Fox. There it is. And you can't tell because I accidentally knocked it over right before starting this, but right in there is a new root growth, which is great. I've got to stabilize this better. I've got to like stake it or something because it's so top heavy that it ends up falling over, have it leaning against other plants. I've got to get it into a better pot too. So we'll see what happens, but I want it to grow some roots. So, but it's doing well. It's not going to die on me, so that's good. I'm glad because I love the colors on this thing. Next one is my Arangus. It's doing well. It's growing a new leaf, as you can see right there. It had been growing a spike when I got it, just a starting one, but it aborted it, which I'm fine with because I would rather the plant grow roots and leaves and get stronger than bloom itself to death. So that one's doing well. And my Tolumnia. This is the one I was worried about. It and the Dendrobium are the ones that I'm worried about the most. Because when I got this guy, he didn't have very good roots. He only had like maybe one root. And like you can see, the leaves are really long and like lanky. And it's very thin. So, I don't know. The spike made a branch that produced 3 little blooms. And I love this bloom. It looks so cool. I haven't seen one like this before. It's all speckled and everything. I usually see just pink and red and white Tolumnias. But if you look down in here, I don't know if it'll focus, but that looks like a new growth coming out right there. So I'm hoping that's a good sign that this plant's going to make a turnaround. Next up is my Phalaenopsis Tyingchin Blue Jay. The spike has dropped all of its flowers and is now starting to brown and yellow. I will probably cut it off today during watering. I haven't seen any new root growth coming from the base of the plant, but the roots inside the pot are still nice and green and look really good. So I think this one hasn't skipped a beat. It just kept going. And the leaf, the newest leaf, is growing nice and big. Bigger than all of its previous leaves, so I can't complain about that. Next up is my Cycnodes Wine Delight. The spike browned, oops. And so I cut it off. And it still has one leaf. So I am going to water it, but I'm just going to water it with plain water. I'm not going to fertilize it. And just make sure that the bulb doesn't go really wrinkly. I haven't spotted any new signs of nubbins or anything in there yet, so, but I do have to repot it really bad because I hate this pot. I gotta get a better pot for it. And I gotta stake it because, as you can see, it's really wobbly and it won't stand up. Next up is my Dendrobium Mingle Sapphire. So as you can see from the tag, it has Victoria Reginae in it. And that's deciduous, so it's starting to drop its leaves. I'm hoping it's because it's going into a winter rest. Not really sure. Haven't really found much information out about it online. The newer growths are still growing, so that's good. But they've dropped some of their bottom leaves too. As you can see down in the bark. I gotta get rid of them. But the roots on it look really good. Like there's a big green root there. There's some roots right there. You know, and there's like roots growing in there too. So like, I don't think it's dying or anything. I think it's doing really well. Haven't killed it yet, so fingers crossed that it keeps going because I would really like to see this one bloom again. Next up is my Phalaenopsis javanica hieroglyphica cross. It is growing a new leaf, which is great. So happy about that. And right there, if my phone will focus, is a root coming out. So that's good. It's picking up and just growing away. I don't know if you can see, but in there's the second spike. Hasn't really done much, but I don't suspect it to because it's still getting used to living in my grow area. But the flowers, I got to get rid of these old flowers because they're spent, and I'll take them off today when I'm watering. But this is the bloom that I have right now. And now if you ask anybody that knows me, they'll tell you that I hate pink blooms. Hate them with a passion. I'm more of a red, yellow, orange type person. Purple maybe, depending. It's pushing it. But my favorite is the creamy white with the contrasting green of the leaves. Those are my favorite blooms. So I don't know why this one piqued my interest, but there's just something about it that I just really liked. I think it's the cream of the background. I don't know. But I really liked this guy, and he's doing really well, and I'm really glad. So, let's see, who's next? This one is my Equestris. If it'll focus on the tag. There we go. And its new leaf is growing really nice and fresh and healthy green. Haven't seen any new root tips coming out from the base, but that's okay. They might be growing down into the media because, as you can see, nice green roots. Can't complain about that. Lots of green roots. So I'm pretty happy. The spike has dropped all of its flowers, but it's not browning, it's staying green, so I'm not cutting it off. I'm hoping maybe it'll make a kiki. Because I want one of those plants that has like 5 spikes and 3 kikis that are spiking and, you know, a big, huge specimen-sized plant. The last one is my Rhyncholalia cattleya Young Kong Sun. And it is doing well. I have it sitting in this clay pot because it is so top heavy, it's not even funny. As you can see, it is growing lots of new roots, but it's kind of stalled on the growth. I figure because it wants to grow roots, which I'm perfectly fine with. That's okay by me. Nice strong plant means healthier blooms. So those are the plants that I got at the Fraser Valley Orchid Society show and sale in October. Oh, here's something I want to show you guys. Okay, so this is my Masdevallia iabicana, right? And here, I gotta move my thing. Okay, so I thought this was a root, but you look at that and you tell me, That does not look like a root, does it? I think I have a spike, which is exciting, but I'm kind of ticked off at it because it's growing down. It's supposed to be like this big, tall, strong spike that stands up nice and tall into the air, not grow along the base, you know? But that's okay. I got the tag sitting here to try to tease it to work upwards. And then if I can get it to go up, I will start to stake it so that it doesn't flop over or anything. But I'm really excited because this is the first time blooming for me if it is a spike. Tell me what you think, if it looks like a spike or not. And, oh, and then my Masdevallia bennetii, its bloom is slowly starting to open, which is great. I love that guy. He's so fuzzy. It's awesome. But everybody else is doing good. So, with that, I will end the video here. Thanks for checking in, and I hope I see you again. Bye!